Hi, I'm CJ Elmberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. We've got a brand new 6-horse sitting behind us here. This is a 2026 Cimarron Winstar 6-horse with that dual tack setup that everybody loves. It's such a popular setup as far as a tack room goes. Before we start walking you through this trailer, let's go ahead and take a look at the drawing. I'll show you some specs on it and how the trailer is laid out. So we're just a hair under 31 foot on the floor. We're 30 foot 9 inches floor length on this trailer. We're 8 wide, we're 7'1" tall, that's standard. Now on this one, it has that dual front tack setup. Okay, we call it a his and hers because it's just a fantastic setup to work off of both sides of the trailer. So we'll walk you through that and show you that aspect of it. Cimarron, your all aluminum construction. You're gonna have an 8-year structure warranty, a 3-year hardware warranty, and then you're gonna have a 1-year no questions asked warranty on the tires themselves. We'll talk more about that when we get into the trailer itself. But as we get up to the front here, we did the polished stainless sheet on the front. We really just think it dresses these trailers up just from the standpoint of just the aesthetics, but also it's really easy to clean. You have a few marker lights up there. We have an adjustable coupler from B&W. So you're familiar with B&W turnover balls or hitches. They actually came up with this gooseneck coupler with Cimarron years ago. This is a fantastic coupler. It's rated for 25,000 pounds. But we've got a lot of flexibility with the low profile handle, which allows for another hole to be drilled. If you look at some other competitors or look at the previous versions, this hole was not there. So we didn't have as much flexibility, but now we really have that ability to set this trailer, making sure it's running level and plenty of bed clearance. Underneath the gooseneck, it's a 6-horse with a big tack, okay? So instead of a manual crank, let's go ahead and upgrade this guy to the electric over hydraulic by equalizer. This also has the manual override. So if we got into an emergency situation, we could pump this on or off the truck very easily. But with that, your spare is going to be located over to the left. If you're familiar with our videos in our inventory, the standard width trailer is 6'10" wide. This spare is elevated because this is a bigger footprint than the manual crank. But since this is a wide trailer, it pushes the box out. We have space for that spare right there. But once you have one of these, you know, we've just been working stock show, and so many people go, well, how much is that jack? And I'll hear people in the background that are just kind of listening. They're like, they're worth every penny. It's so nice to push a button and up and down these go. But this also has that manual override in that scenario if we get an emergency situation. You're gonna get the battery box, aluminum battery box. That's part of the package with the jack. 12-volt battery. Then you're going to get a battery disconnect. The disconnect is a piece that we were constantly adding to our inventory, and they finally made it standard as this package. And the reason why it's important is there's a lot of lights on these trailers. Lights can get left on and batteries can get drained. So when I park this trailer and walk away from it, last thing as I do is I turn that to the off position, so it kills power. But a piece that's been added a little over a year ago is this RedArc charger. We were doing some testing ourselves. Then Cimarron went ahead and made it part of the standard package with the hydraulic jack. And the reason why is that RedArc charger is a true 3-staging charger. Okay, our truck would always work as a charger to the battery, but very, very slow, almost like a trickle charger. To where this RedArc, we joke it's a supercharger. It's gonna pull what it needs from the truck based on the level of this battery to get it charged up at a rapid rate. Making sure this battery is topped off, has plenty of power available to you to run the jack if you need to, lights, whatever you need to. And it's gonna give you more longevity because these batteries get low, they get cold, especially in these winter months, and it's really hard on them, and they really never come back. So keeping these batteries topped off is a really nice feature, and that RedArc charger is gonna do it. The other thing that it does is when we plug into the truck, I can immediately tell if we're getting power from the truck itself. So that's really nice. That way, if if we're worried we've got a blown fuse or something along those lines, we're not getting power to it, all I have to do is plug it in, and I know if we have that 12-volt power coming from the truck. And then the actual switch is right here. So it's handy because it's on driver's side, it's close, so when somebody's backing you up, it's so fantastic. Even if you've got some kids traveling with you, or just somebody doesn't want a hand crank. As you get backed up, you can just stop right above the ball, keep your foot on the brake, and immediately push the button and drop it down. So it's really simple from that aspect to have that hitch on there. This is a 53-inch gooseneck drop, okay? That's from this point to the bottom of the box. And why that's important is all these truck manufacturers have gotten taller beds, okay? So it's really difficult to get these trailers set up level with plenty of bed clearance. We don't want to tear up a bed on one of these really expensive new trucks. So what we've done is we went from 50 inches to 53. We do that to our inventory. We'll take it a case-by-case basis, but the 53 makes a big difference, that 3 inches, to really set this trailer and give you adequate bed clearance. On a trailer like this, I'd want to see a minimum of about 6 to 6.5 inches of bed clearance. Put my pinky on the bed, maybe just graze or just touch the bottom of the actual gooseneck itself, because, you know, I'm not saying you can't tear up a bed, but boy, the chances of it have drastically reduced. And then we want the trailer running level, okay? That equal weight distribution on those two axles. If you look at some of the newer trucks, and if somebody's got an older trailer, usually it's running level, but real minimal bed clearance. So there's a chance that they're gonna tear up that bed. Or they've got a lot of bed clearance because they've nosed the trailer way up, and a lot of that weight is on that back axle, and that's not what we want either. So that little step right there makes a big difference when we're coming in. And again, we have that B&W coupler that we can adjust to set the trailer up how we need. All right, here's that dual tack, okay? It's a 5.5 foot short wall over there on driver's side with a 4 foot offset, so we're 9.5 on this side. This is a nice big tack room to work off of. What's fantastic is, again, we joke that it's a his and hers. You can have your horses tied on that side of the trailer with your saddles and tack over there, and they can have theirs tied up over here, and you can work off the trailer. Okay, so first and foremost, we're gonna have a 42-inch wide door. Nice big wide access into that front tack. You're gonna have the step. That's a fold up on a gas shock. I'll show you when we're done with this side. I'll button it up, but as you can see, that's a pretty big step from the ground to this lower frame right here of that door jamb. Okay, so when we're carrying stuff in and out, it makes it a big difficult step. This is a wide trailer. We don't have that running board to allow access, so that's where these steps come into play. We try to put these on all of our tack doors just because it is so much easier getting in and out. With that on the door, you're gonna get that 4-tier blanket tree on there on a gas shock that swings out. You're gonna get your brush tray. So that's a good catch-all. Your brushes, your fly sprays, your hoof picks, anything like that can get thrown in there. It's amazing what ends up in those, but they're super nice to have. So on this 42-inch wide door, another piece that comes into play is, well, we've got a swing out saddle rack, okay? So on this, it's a 6-horse. We've got 3 saddle racks on this side. These are adjustable. I can move them up, down, I can change spacing, I can add more, I can remove some, whatever you want. But also pay attention, with this swung out and this 42-inch wide door, this is a nice big gap to be able to walk through. You can still transition in and out of the trailer. We see a lot of competitors, they'll run a 36-inch wide door, so it really tightens this up. It's really hard to get in and out when this is swung out. But I want you to pay attention when I go to swing this back in, because imagine big saddles on this, roping saddles, western saddles, 42 inches wide. You cut 6 inches off of this, and boy, you're gonna be dragging saddles on this door frame itself, and that's not what we wanna do either. And obviously when it's swung in, it's really easy to come in and out of this tack room. We did rubber on the floor, so really easy cleanup. If we look ahead, we're gonna have the boot box. That's an 18-inch boot box, it's partial. It's a good, another catch-all there. You can throw some items in there. You can use that as a bench if you're hanging out, or as a step hopping up into the gooseneck area itself. The reason I like the 18-inch boot boxes versus the 12s is because you can actually, because of the framework, you can actually set a larger bucket in there. The 12s you can't. So we go partial way across, and the reason why is because we have the short wall, okay? We don't want to get this area too tight right here. There's still a lot of storage in that partial boot box that goes across. Carpet on the drop wall and the deck itself. You got a couple windows up in the nose there so you can see out. If you're wanting to throw a mattress, a bedroll, sleeping bags, it's fantastic to be able to see out. Open up a window, create a cross breeze. It makes a big difference. With this being 8 wide, there's a ton of room here in this gooseneck itself. We went ahead and put a light up in the nose. They usually put standard lights over the doors, which is good, but we like them up in the nose too, because it kind of darkens up a little bit in these tack rooms, especially when we get in these little bit bigger ones. So we like the one up in the nose as well. There's an OptiBright light, so LED, not a big power draw, put out a ton of light. They're fantastic. over above the left-hand window is going to be a tray, and this is going to be for our plexiglass. So I'll show you the plexiglass when we get back to the side of the trailer on the exterior, but that's where that's going to store, so just keep that in mind. This is also framed for an air conditioner, so they go ahead and do that framework on their tack rooms. That way, if you ever wanted to add one, that piece of it's already done. The other thing is maybe you want a camper style vent or a 12-volt, vent of some sort. Well, it's all the same footprint, so that piece of it's already done. We have a 12-volt battery on this, so that part of it's already done. You go the AC route, we're gonna have to add a power package to it, but again, that piece is already done. Light above each door, and there's also switches at each door. So no matter which side of the trailer you come in, you can actually come in, turn lights on. We try to really think about that because a lot of times you'll get one, and it's always the opposite side you come in that's where the switch is, but it's nice to have both of them. I'll show you again. Here's the other swing out. On driver's side, again, access in and out of this. That's why we didn't put that boot box all the way across, so it is easy getting in and out, and there's a ton of floor space for storage on this trailer too in this tack setup. On the partition wall, we have 2 rows of bridle hooks. These are aluminum powder coated, so these guys are really stout, okay? They're really gonna hold up well. There's carpet on the entire partition wall. So whenever we hang, our bridles, anything like that on here, we always see it on trailers that don't have carpet. You get that kind of quarter moon where all that tack moves on the wall while you're driving and it scuffs it up, to where the carpet's actually gonna protect the wall, protect whatever tack you're throwing on here, and it's also going to deaden the noise on the other side for the horses. So again, you've got 2 rows, high and low, and then there's a corner water tank back behind that swing out saddle rack. So that is wasted space back there. Those are fantastic. It's a 25-gallon water tank. You fill at the top, empty at the bottom. You saw the hose probably in the boot box there. Put a ball valve on the end of it, and you can fill buckets up right here at the trailer. You don't have to go find the hydrant, pack buckets a long distance. It's nice to travel with water in the summertime or just any time in general, so it's nice to have it right here on the actual trailer itself. This is a white sheeted trailer. That is standard. If you want to go with like silver metallic, charcoal metallic, black, there's an upcharge there. They can do some custom colors, but white is standard. Again, fold up step on a gas shock, really easy to operate. Flips up and out of the way. Now we have a couple load lights on the top rail. Those are those 16-inch load lights. We've got one kind of right before the actual stall area in the tack door there. And then we've got another one back here by the axle. So you have plenty of exterior lighting as well. We added a few more of those button lights for you. Just kind of dresses the trailer up. And then we have the 2 rows of plexiglass. All right, so we saw the plexiglass tray. This is that kind of smoked or kind of tinted plexiglass on here. But the track's built into all of these trailers. So the Winstar model and Lone Star model, stock sides, they've got that track built into it, so we can remove that plexiglass. And where it comes really into play, keeping track of this with a tip that we always like to give is keep a Sharpie and a roll of masking tape or painter's tape, something that's not gonna leave a real sticky residue. Because think about it, this is a slant load, so we have one side, stock side, that's longer than the other. So now when we go to pull these out and put them in that storage tray, keep track of where you pull them from and where they go. Because it's like, hey, here's all the pieces to this puzzle. You don't know what anything looks like. Figure it out. So you take out that passenger upper, you tape it together and you write that. Do the same on the lower. Do the same on driver. And set them in there in those kind of groups, so when you go to throw it back in, it'll take you minutes. To where if you don't, you'll spend a half hour and you're really unhappy about it. I've been there on some used trailers that have come in. So keep that in mind. That's just a tip there. We have tie rings on the outside. We can add more. Anywhere there's an upright post, we could add those if you wanted. Then on axles, we have 2 8,000-pound Dexter rubber torsion axles. Electric brakes on this trailer. 16-inch aluminum wheels. You get the standard aluminum wheels from Cimarron. And then we upgraded to a 14-ply tire over the 10-ply. So you have a much better quality tire on the trailer right from the get-go. And then you have a 1-year, no questions asked warranty on the tires. And that's from the date you purchased the trailer, okay? So if you catch road debris, you hit something, you know, you have a blowout, you catch a nail or screw that punctures the sidewall and it can't be patched, they'll replace it 1 year, no questions asked from that purchase date. Now, it's not through Cimarron, it's through their vendor for wheels and tires, Lion's Head, which we can walk you through that process. Don't just discard the tire itself. We'll help you with the codes and the information that they'll need on that itself. 6-foot sheeted hay rack up on top. It's white sheeted, so it matches the trailer. But you do have storage up on top as well. At the rear, we went with 50-50 rear gates. Okay, they're independent, so you can open one or the other. Don't have to be in any sequence. You see the kick mats on the back gates themselves. We got it on the sidewalls in here that we'll show you. But we've got the butt strap that goes across. Just because this is a wide trailer and we don't have a rear tack room on it, we like the strap rather than one big bar trying to, you know, hold horses in, or when you go to release it, the horse bumps it, that thing come flying at you. So we've got the strap. Now, we'll start making our way forward, but this back stall, I want you to look at it because this is a big stall. This is a 6-horse, and I'm telling you, if you needed to squeeze a 7th on here, it can easily be done. Or if you got a companion or a mare and a foal, you just need to throw in the back, there is room. We put 9 extra inches in the rear stall. Remember when I said it's 30 foot 9 inches? That's because that 9 inches got placed in this back stall so we could keep this back divider solid rather than telescoping it. All right? So we have solid padded dividers. As you can see, they've got springs on them. We'll make our way forward. Again, this trailer's tipped towards passenger side here. So, you know, you get this on flat surface, all these guys are actually going to suck into the wall itself over there on driver's side. But then the front divider is going to be a stud divider. Double springs on it because it has more weight. So again, it's wanting to pull that way. Again, level it off. All these guys will lay over there on that side. Kick mat all the way around. You have the recessed paddle latches. Okay, so nothing protruding out. This is a cast aluminum powder coated piece with a heavy UHMW plastic paddle latch itself, so we don't get metal to metal contact. These are slam latches, easy to release. Everything's one-handed operation. So when you're leading horses on or off the trailer, you can do everything one-handed, opening dividers, shutting them, leading a horse. All right, here's the plexiglass from the inside I was showing you. And then we've got 3 of those big OptiBrite lights here in the stall area. So again, plenty of light coverage back here in this trailer. 6 two-way roof vents, so we can manipulate airflow, one above each horse, all the way back. So you can create a vacuum through here by opening certain directions. Again, manipulating airflow to set it up how you need it to be. All right, then you're gonna have that insulated roof. That is standard on every single Cimarron. Doesn't matter what model, size, it all has that roof, which is fantastic. We are big, big believers in it. Because one, it's really strong, okay? I can walk on this roof. It'll take 150 pounds per square foot. It's a 1/2 inch thick honeycomb design, so that's where that strength comes from. It's also got an R3 thermal value and a gel coating on top. And what that means is it keeps it cool. That insulated roof, it keeps it 20% cooler than an aluminum sheeted roof by having that. So our horses are much more comfortable in this trailer versus an aluminum sheeted roof. The other thing too is it's quiet. Versus an aluminum sheeted roof, you have that metal to metal and it creates that vibration and it's loud in the back of these trailers, to where this is a much quieter ride for the horses themselves. If you flip to the floor, we've got rubber mats down. But what's underneath is the industry's best floor, okay? It's an interlocking 12-inch extruded deck piece that locks in like tongue and groove. It's got high and low locking where it locks into place. So you have 2 points where it locks versus 1. With 1, you have that ability for it to flex a little bit more, where 2, it makes it more rigid. It can't do that as much. But what's important is it's a 4-inch center. So those beams that run across a horse, wherever they're standing on a Cimarron floor, they're standing on 1, if not 2 of those support beams. So that's where, when you start spreading those centers, you get pits and waves and urine collects, and that's where you start to get corrosion. because you've spread that out. Now you have horses standing on that. That's not the case on a Cimarron. They're standing on that support beam itself. I'm going to shut these rear gates because I want to show you the ladder to get up top. If your horses prefer a rear ramp load, a ramp could be added to this trailer. There's always things after the fact that we can add to these trailers. So just because it might not have a rear ramp, you go, oh, that's a perfect trailer, but I wish it had a ramp. Well, we can help you out with that, and our parts and service department can add some of those things to customize it a little bit for you and make it exactly set up on how you want to use it. We have this ladder, and this is not just a bolt-on ladder where you have to go up the side of the trailer. This is an easy angle ladder, so it extends out and away from the trailer, so it makes it really easy to get up to that actual hay rack. So for carrying hay bags or anything else we want to store up there, it's almost impossible to carry stuff and go up one-handed on a bolt-on, where this is so much simpler. And then to lock it in, you just lift up, it sets in the feet and locks in, and we can actually lock this ladder on in, while you're traveling, or if you don't want anybody up there, you can actually go ahead and lock it. It matches the keys to the tack room, so everything's keyed alike. Here's our switches for load lights on the side, stall lights, and then you've got two 8-inch awning lights back here as well, so you have light coverage back here. And then if you look at the actual tail lights themselves, that white X in there, that is an actual backup light. So when you go to throw your truck in reverse, which again, we're 30 foot 9 inches on the floor, that truck is a long ways away, the backup lights on the truck are worthless. So these guys will indicate when you throw it in reverse, so you do have some backup lights. You're gonna get somewhere where it's dark, unfamiliar, get home late at night, you wanna be able to see. It's nice to have that. On driver's side, again, another load light back by the axles, and then another one kind of up by the escape door in that front tack room. So we do have two of those over here as well. There's that plexiglass. Again, this is longer plexiglass over here, so that's why it's important to keep it, just track of where each piece goes. And then we've got an access gate here, that escape door going into that first stall. So maybe you're actually using that first stall with that stud divider as extra storage. Okay, you don't have to worry about things getting underneath horses while traveling because of the gate itself. You can access it right here, and then there's a chest bar that goes across that door as well. And then just ahead of that, here's the other side of that dual tack. All right, so same thing, 42-inch wide door. The 4-tier blanket poultry, gas shock, brush tray, just like the other side, step, and then again, that swing out saddle rack. 3 saddle racks on this side as well, so we have 6 total. We can add more. You can take them out and you can adjust them whatever you want. And again, light switch right inside the door. Easy to access, turning lights on and off, and really easy to operate that fold-up step. So again, you can see why that dual tack is so popular. We do it in 4s, 5s, 6s, even some of our 7s, stock combos, a little bit of everything. Everybody really likes these setups. So this is a great trailer if you're looking for more of like just a stock-sided, to carry a lot of horses, but still have a really nice tack room. So I'm gonna give you the stock number for reference. Again, it's a 2026 Cimarron Winstar 6-horse dual tack. Stock number is 5N251207. We do take trade-ins, so if you're looking to upgrade or downsize, we can help you there. Delivery is an option, so we could potentially bring this to your doorstep, and financing is available. So give us a call. Anybody in the sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. Appreciate you tuning in. Have a good day.